So I would be really curious when you think about what does it mean to be a good coach, either attitude or traits or skills. What are some good ways of thinking about coaching that everyone listening here today who aspires to make that positive change on their teams can start to embrace?
Well, it might be what I think leaders need to do is it's probably two things, and it has a lot to do with some of the things I think you're going to ask me about that are in my book. One is listening. I don't think we listen, and it's a very, very simple thing that's not simple at all. It's not easy. It may be simple, but it's not easy. We need a lot of listening, and I can give you a pretty profound example of that happened this week with a leader. I could tell you a quick story. And the courage to give feedback. So I can't say one thing. So it would be listening and the courage to give feedback. And I don't think it's common, even though that's one of those things that back in the 90s we were teaching, and I thought, people would just start doing it and things would change and everything would change.
Yeah, and I think it probably perhaps could have, but these little guys, for those of you listening, I'm holding up my phone, have not helped us out very much. This makes listening a lot harder, being present a lot harder. So let's dig into those a little bit. You talked about listening, and you talked about a story that happened this week. I would love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm working with a small team, and one of the members of this team is new, and he's the president of a division of an organization that has been through a lot of difficulty and has to make some changes pretty quickly in order to get back on track. And he has a tremendous amount of experience. He also has a tremendous amount of care and compassion for the team that he's leading. And he told a story. He's had a reminder through this work that we're doing about the importance of listening. And he said that since he's been there, which is about 2-3 months, that it's so compelling to him because of his experience and because of the great need to make change, for him to jump in and tell people what they need to do and to make changes. And he said what this organization really needs is a good listening to. And I thought that was such a profound statement. And he said, I am forcing myself to listen to them. And it is bearing fruit. And I am developing such trust. And I know that trust is going to turn into the ability to make the changes that need to be made with people's support. And I think that's what's most important, is that by listening, we can actually gain the trust, and we know that's what we need in order to have people engaged in whatever needs to happen. We have to have trust as a foundation. So that's not the only way of listening, and it's not the only part of the answer to the question you asked me. There's also feedback, and there also is a need for his expertise. They can't keep doing the things that they have been doing the way they've been doing them. But I thought that was so important when he said the organization needs to be listened to.